GOKARUNA-NIDHI Part 3 Introduction by Professor Tulsi Ram, PhD, London, formerly Principal, Shivaji College, Delhi. GOKARUNA-NIDHI is a short treatise in defense of the cow and other animals which yield milk and serve other useful purposes in the service of mankind. It is probably the first treatise written more than a century ago, suggesting a white revolution as part of an ascending order of revolution, agrarian and civilizational, social, moral and spiritual. Literally translated, the title means compassion for the cow, deep and vast as the ocean. In plain terms, it is a plea for compassionate cattle farming as part of an agrarian economy. Therefore, one might ask pertinent questions, especially in the present day context of economic problems and their possible solutions. Some time ago, an American friend put a question: why can't the cow yield meat in addition to giving milk? In the pursuit of an economic activity, where does compassion come in? In a world of unrestrained competition for economic wealth and the related values, that is, pleasure attendant thereon, one might go as far as to say, you may cut the throat of your neighbor, but see it that you cut it well enough not to allow him to revive and survive. In other words, the inability to kill is a badge of inefficiency. In a world of efficiency, expertise and competitive production, compassion is just out of place, unthinkable. But Swami Dayananda bases all his thinking on economic problems, on compassion and love on the one hand, and reason and justice on the other. Indeed, in his thought, love and justice, reason and compassion are integrated. According to him, love and compassion on the one hand and reason and justice on the other are inalienably integrated. So far a man of education and culture, reason and justice, as much as love and compassion, are but two sides of the same coin or different facets of truth. If you think with a clean and clear mind, without a shade of bias and prejudice against anyone whatsoever, you surely will exercise love and compassion as much as reason and justice. To be human is to be just and fair, rational and reasonable, kind and compassionate. All matters of economics and economy, too, are subject to this way of human thinking in Swamiji's writings. Indeed, Swamiji does not think of any problem in isolation, nor does he think of any solution in isolation. To think of anything in isolation is unrealistic and ultimately ineffective. Whatever is unrealistic is false and irrational. Therefore, he thinks of the problems of the cow and other animals in the total context of things in general. His vision is holistic. It is so comprehensive that it embraces the entire humanity without discrimination and, beyond that, extends to the ultimate bounds of the universe. That vision includes, on the human plane, the individual, the community, the nation, and the whole humanity on the face of the earth. In another direction and another plane, it includes the animals, the birds, and the fishes. In yet another direction and another plane, it includes the vegetarian, the sea, and the sky, and the air. Beyond these, there is the cosmos and laws of nature. Another way of looking at his context of thought is to consider the physical, mental, moral, and spiritual modes of life. In short, Swamiji's frame of reference is both horizontal and vertical, and the whole frame of reference, thinking, planning, and acting, is what we might call dharmic. Dharma is the law which holds and sustains life. Dharma, in fact, is nothing but the law of nature. The Vedas enshrine that law in the language of nature. Violation of that law is adharma or injustice. Justice and love, reason and compassion, are two aspects of that cosmic law. Hence, Swamiji appeals against the slaughter of the cow and other animals on the basis of justice and compassion, which, according to him, are attributes of human culture. A culture which does not consider justice and love as values violates the laws of nature. And since human beings cannot possibly isolate themselves from nature and its laws, that brand of culture cannot be called human. It is a violation of human law and human aspirations. Let us for a while look earthward from the heavens and focus our vision on the problems of humanity. Can we isolate the individual from the community from the nation, and the nation from the international world? Today, more than ever before, do we realize the oneness of the world and the interdependence of all the various units of humanity, be they communities, nations, countries, or continents? Further, can we isolate the human world from the animal world from the vegetable world, the solid earth from the air, and the air from the higher spheres? Similarly, can we isolate the economic sphere from the social, the political, and the cultural aspects of our entire life? Aren't our laws of economy, taxation, production, and distribution coming closer to our total sense of justice and human values? Yes, we are moving into the direction of the holistic and comprehensive, but we still fall short of non-violence to the animals and birds and the atmosphere. All the same, we are actively thinking of maintaining the ecosystem and the balance of nature. We need the courage of all the real conviction for that, and so far we are too selfish to have that courage to follow the truth, justice, and compassion in our situation. Continued.